Hello, how you doing? So welcome to a brand new episode. This is going to be on the podcast, so if you're listening there, hello, but also as a video on my YouTube channel, and as always, all my content goes back onto my website, nikkiraby.com, and there's a brand new freebie section there as well, so feel free to help yourself and have a little peek around and see what you can find there. Okay, today I'm talking about money mindset. And I've got a little challenge for you today that I would love you to have a play around with. And it's not complicated. It's not necessarily going to put you out of your comfort zone. In fact, it's probably going to bring a bit of a smile. And I actually wasn't going to make this video today, but it feels really prominent, and you'll see why in just a second. So just to give a bit of background to my money mindset, I moved to London in 2000 to pursue my creative dream of becoming an actor. And I have to say, over 20 years later, I'm really pleased that I still earn money from acting. That is a lovely, lovely thing. However, I wish that I had seen myself as somebody that could earn money earlier on. I was very much in the school of thought of you choose your creative dream or you choose the corporate money route. And I'm pleased to say that is not true. And we shouldn't necessarily see that fork in the road. Like, this is where you have to choose. Like, do you want to follow your dream or do you want to earn money? There is a beautiful blend where you can add them together. But I didn't know that at the time. So therefore, I did a lot of work for free. I said yes when I absolutely should have said no. I felt so grateful for the opportunity and I couldn't believe my luck because I was just in the room. And that's not to say that you should skip all the way up to the top immediately, because there is a process to everything of, being an 18-year-old. I didn't know any of the things I knew some of the things, but I was in a very different spot to how I am at nearly 40. And so therefore, I saw that pattern work through my life. I saw it when I started speaking. I used to speak for free all the time. I used to give everything away. I never used to ask for the sale. I was just, again, so grateful to be in the room. Are you seeing a pattern? Yes, absolutely. I have done the work around this. And likewise with my coaching work. When I trained in 2012, 2011, 2013 is actually when I qualified. This space was not as you see it today. This space was still very much evolving. So back when I qualified, people were just about starting up business Facebook pages, email newsletters, but it certainly wasn't the digital how would I describe it? It just didn't feel like there was a lot of possibilities. Basically, I felt like I was doing some kind of underground thing. And I'm sure the people who I qualified with at the same time would echo this, that it wasn't necessarily cool to be talking about coaching or going for your dreams or finding a way. It felt like it was something flippant or a bit mystical, and we didn't really know what to do with it. So therefore, in terms of getting clients, it took quite a while to get that traction, to feel like my message and all those flipping blogs that I was writing and videos, it felt like it was a long time before they started to fly and people started to understand what I was doing. Also at that time, in terms of my portfolio career, which is always how I've earned my cash, how I've always earned a living by doing lots of different things, that again was not spoken about in this way, or having different strands of income. So people found it confusing, like, what are you? Are you a coach now? Are you doing the acting thing? And there was some skepticism there for sure, because it was very much that belief, like, you can't be good at so many things, don't spread yourself too thinly, like, is it clear what you do? And so I really had to keep tuning in with my inner knowing of, no, this makes sense to myself. And certainly, not that I want to be like, yeah, told you so, but certainly I saw that trust really reward itself in 2020 when I wasn't relying on one sole piece of income, where I could diversify, where I could pivot, that word, where I could kind of repackage and repurpose and look at things in a different way. So what would happen in this world of just starting out as coaching is that, again, I was so grateful for the opportunity. I would give hour-long coaching sessions for free. You know, there was that sense of earning your stripes and getting experience, but that went on for way too long. Until I hit a moment, I think it was 2017, when I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And do you know what? This felt like, and this is going to be quite a harsh reference, but it's my reference and it's the way that I thought of it. So, yeah, if it doesn't work for you, then that's absolutely fine, and feel free to skip on by this. But I got to that stage where I felt like I was snogging everyone. I mean, literally I wasn't, of course, but that sense of like, I've got no boundaries here. This makes me feel a bit available. This makes me feel that everything is up for grabs. And that is a really, it had to get to almost that point, and you can see it in my face. It had to get to that point where I was like, ooh, this just doesn't feel any good. Like I felt like I needed to zip my coat up again and go, right, where am I up to? What do I want to give away for free? What does this look like? The second part to all of this is, and this is where the money mindset comes in, I didn't necessarily believe that there was available cash. I didn't necessarily believe that people had money to spend on these kinds of things, because as an actor, I was told so often that, you know, there's limited budget, or like it's expenses only, or there's no work in the theatre because you have to be a starving artist. Equally with speaking, it was like, oh, it's a nice to have. We don't really have a budget for this. It's just you saying a few words, like, you know, we can't really warrant paying you for that. Like if you could just prepare it, if you could bring your slides as well, you know, all of this stuff happened. And also with the coaching side of things, because I had no boundaries, people were coming to me and going, well, you've really got to prove that this has got to work. So I went into that space of going, right, I've got to prove it. Right, how can I give? Instead of saying, actually, I have the trust in myself that I know this works, that I am good at what I do. And is this person a good fit for this type of situation? So now here comes the exercise. I've given you 3 examples of how this has shown up in my own career. Over the next week, I invite you to pay close attention to the football industry. And I want you to start to tot up the money that people spend. Now, this could be the extra drinks that people spend, or those big 24 packs of beer that people go, great, the footy's on tonight. Let's get some extra beers in. Let's get some booze in. Let's get people around. Let's buy an extra couple of packets of sausages because we'll have a barbecue tonight. And, oh, we'll get a takeaway on that kind of level. Now, also, I should just say, I absolutely love the footy industry. Like, I love the game of football. Actually, love is a bit strong. I enjoy it while it's on. I have no beef necessarily with the football industry. I'm simply using this as an exercise. So on that very micro level, noticing what happens. And then as we sort of start to go bigger and bigger and bigger, think about the stuff that we hear all of the time. So the wags, the wives and girlfriends, they're parked to the side to look pretty, to fall in line, to not expect the person to have sex with them because, you know, they've got to concentrate on the game. This is a big game, etc. We notice the amount of merchandise that happens, you know, that people will buy an England flag, people will buy hats and scarves and coats and bags and shin pads and all kinds of stuff. We see that. We also see the travel. People traveling cross country to go to a match. They might stay overnight. They'll buy a pie and a beer or whatever it might be when they go there. And then let's go up to the top. Let's talk about the people who earn 100 grand a week, and that is fully acceptable. Let's talk about the people who have these huge sponsorship deals, and that again is completely acceptable. Again, I'm not saying that this is a right or wrong thing, but what I am saying is if you have something that you have created that is full of value, that is going to impact people, that's going to support people, feel free to charge for it. Honestly, feel free to charge for it, because you might be going, should I charge 15 quid or should I charge 20 quid for this? Or you might be going, shall I give this away for free or shall I just do it as a fiver? This is not going to necessarily get you where you want to go in your business. And also, it's okay because people have money to spend. And I know that everybody wants to tell us that we are in financial crisis and our news will keep feeding us that information. But there does come a point where people are ready to spend, and you might have a community, an audience where people have been sitting on your fence, sitting on your newsletter list for a while. Please just keep going. We really need your voice, your version, what you have to offer. It is so important that we spread this cash, essentially, because otherwise what will happen is that yours will get smaller and smaller and smaller, and people will keep spending money on the football and all the rest of it. So this is a very long-winded point, but I want you to notice over the next couple of weeks where people are spending money in terms of the football. Almost it might be some of the ludicrous things that people are spending money on. Notice it. Don't judge it necessarily. Don't get angry about it. But if you do, use that to fuel your own business. But remember me in this video, in this podcast, and greet it with a smile like, blimey, it's there again. People are spending money there again. Oh my goodness. Have you seen how cheaply this thing is made? People have spent money on that. I want you to notice all of those things. And hopefully, my aim is, at the end of this, to give you that boost of, come on now, I can do this. I absolutely can do this. It's all right for me to charge. It's all right to get that money flowing. It's okay for this to become more of a business. I'm going to leave it there. I would love to hear your comments. As always, let me know what you think, and I will see you again very soon. Also, if you want to book a free 15-minute session with me, all the details are down below in the description box, and I would love to support you. If you need help with your pricing menu, working out your offerings, what's going on, I'm right there. So yeah. Thank you so much for listening, for watching, and get watching because it's everywhere. See you soon.